Hi guys, I'm Uncle Richie.
Yo, what up? J Money's back.
And this is C10. And you're listening to the Uncle's Podcast.
Sweet, bro. How's your day?
Good, bro. Just I was out at west, east. Just been running down at east at Bottomley Park.
Yeah, nice.
Just keep the legs ticking over in off season. Yeah, man. My body is still there. I've been dying every day.
Oh man, when was the last time I saw you? Was probably shit. I can't even remember.
No, it was ages. It would have been a long time.
Yeah.
Would have been over 6 months ago because we would have been drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe when you one weekend you came to Brisbane last year.
Yeah, we were at the QA.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Fuck, what an establishment.
Yeah, we were there. I remember I put I put $50 in the pokies.
Oh yeah.
It was like first hit, bang.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh shit. Yeah. Anyways, let's we'll get stuck in straight away.
Yep.
I'll do a bit of a little intro. Everyone, I've got my good friend, a person who I've known for since school, actually, high school, in year 8, year 9. I met Mafi over here. We both went to Nudgee and played footy together. And we just kept in contact ever since. And yeah, Mafi's gone on to play for the Queensland Reds, play professional rugby in Japan, most recently for the Melbourne Rebels as well, and is off to Japan in a couple of months. So he's, I'd say probably, I did look at it, about 70 something Super Rugby caps.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah, it could be somewhere around there. I don't count.
Yeah. I had a quick look, and 76 Super Rugby caps. So, man, that's quite a lot in itself. Getting close to 100. So hopefully, after Jap, you can come back and finish it off.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But I thought we'd do what we always do on the Uncle's Podcast and just go back to where it all started for yourself.
Yeah.
From humble beginnings. Where were you born and raised?
Well, I was born down the road, just down there at the Royal Brisbane Hospital. So I was born here in Brizzy. First first part of my childhood was up in Mount Isa. So I started my primary schooling years up there. Dad was working in the mine, so our family moved up there. From grade 1 to grade 4, was up in Mount Isa, where I met Perkis.
Kissy.
Yeah, Kissy. we were in school together up there. And then the second half of the childhood come back down to Brisbane. Grew up on the south side of Brisbane, down in Regent's Park near Browns Plains, and just little humble abode down there. Went to school at St Bernardine's, and then got into footy at Sunnybank Dragons. Started playing junior footy there, and then everything kicked off when I got to Nudgee, and met all the lads, and rugby just started to get a bit more serious once we got to Nudgee.
Do you remember much of your primary schooling? What was that life like for you? Because I only met you, when you first got to high school. But what was it like at St Bernardine's?
It was pretty. I don't know. You see, I always see like these memes come up in my feed of like real nostalgic things. You reckon when you see like the like a meme of like a brown paper bag, and you got like your lunch like request, and you put your cash in it. You put your money in it for the tuck shop.
Yeah, tuck shop lady.
Yeah, so like all of that sort of stuff back in primary school was like a norm. Primary school years was pretty cool. Back then, I was sort of like funny, but I was like sort of known as like this kid who was like run fast when I was like doing like athletics days and stuff at primary schools. Just like smoke everyone, and then I got to Nudgee and they were like, this is a big pond.
Yeah, whole new level.
Now like a small fish in a big pond. But yeah, like I loved primary school. Primary school was pretty cool. Just I don't know, same old like to sort of anyone else around Brisbane, I reckon.
Yeah. And what about your parents? Like, where are your parents originally from? I know where they're from, but for everyone that doesn't know.
So father, my dad, he's from Tonga. Yeah. So that's where the Mafi family name is from. It's a Tongan family. Yep. And then my mum, she is Tuvaluan. And for Tuvalu, people who don't know, that's just like a little, really small island out in the Pacific. Yeah. Probably people only hear about it in news headlines about rising sea levels and climate change and all that, because it's slowly going underwater.
I see lots of articles about people moving to NZ because of what's happening over there, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think the people of Tuvalu will become the first, what's the word?
Like lost country or lost...
Yeah, they'll become like the first like people to be refugees forced by nature.
Wow.
I forgot. There's a word for it, but I can't think of it.
Fuck. That's not good.
Mm.
Yeah. And do you have family?
Yeah, heaps. Heaps of family. I got like a couple of aunties that are here in Brisbane now that they're going to Tuvalu on Sunday.
Shit.
So it's still sort of like everyone's living life normal. Yeah. These like this headline of like, oh, Tuvalu's going down. It's been around for like 20 years. Yeah. And people are like always like trying to predict like, oh, by this year Tuvalu won't exist. And then it gets to that year and it's like it's still there. Yeah. So I don't know when it will go under, but it's always in the headlines with that topic.
And when did they move over, or were they born here as well? Or?
No. So they were both born in there. Like, so mum was born in Tuvalu, dad was born in Tonga. They met in Fiji.
Oh, wow.
So Fiji is like the educational hub of the Pacific. Yep. So like the USB in Fiji, that's like sort of everyone goes to uni there from all the surrounding Pacific nations. So they met there, and then I think my dad got like a job. He was working with like telecom or something in Tonga, and then bridged some sort of avenue that opened up, or opportunity that opened up to go and do some work experience or something like that here in Australia, here in Brisbane, and then sort of took that up, and then they were able to come across. I don't even know what year was. That would have probably been
ages ago now.
80s maybe.
Yeah. Sheesh. Well, let's go back to, I guess, when you first got to Nudgee. I know for me it was like a shock to the system, like huge experience walking into a school that's like full of boys everywhere, and just a huge school. Like the school I came from was just like probably 1/8 of the size of Nudgee. So tiny on the scale of things, but yeah, I guess when I got there, it was just, and I was in awe of everyone in the school and the buildings and all of that. So like, what was your experience like when you first got to the school?
Mine's completely different because I had my older brother Matthew. He went to Nudgee. So I grew up sort of like I'd finish like my game like on a Saturday, like playing for Sunnybank, and then my mum would like drive us to Nudgee to go and watch my brother's game. So like I sort of grew up like always going to Nudgee and watching like the first 15 play, like even before I got there, before I got there in grade 8. And so like I already knew what I was walking into. And that's what I like every time I'd like go there, always like, man, like I really hope I get to go to school here as well. I really hope I get to come here.
Yeah.
And then ended up going there. So I like when it was like a bit different, like I wasn't really like shocked or surprised or anything when I got there in grade 8. It was sort of like, yes, I'm here. Yeah. It was like completely different because I sort of already knew, because I had my brother there, so it was a lot different to some of the experience, and that's the sort of cool thing about Nudgee, especially when you're in the dorms and like in boarding, is that there's like everyone's got a different like everyone's completely different. So like you would have been coming from like a really small school in POM.
Yeah, in POM, yeah.
And then there would have been like other kids, like there would have been some Indigenous kids, probably like might have not even like come straight from the bush.
Yeah.
And then like some fellas from the country, they're coming from, what's that school that they're in out at Toowoomba? I forgot what it's called. Prep or something.
Oh yeah, Toowoomba Prep.
Toowoomba Prep.
Yeah.
They come like, so like everyone's coming from like, like we're such a mixed bag. So like, and then then there's also got dudes who come from real freaking wealthy families.
Yeah.
Dudes who are coming from the coast. So it was like, that's the cool thing about Nudgee. It's like everyone's sort of arriving in a completely different background and completely different life experience and upbringing and all that sort of stuff. That's what I reckon it makes our school pretty cool, and like why everyone's pretty, I don't know, like well-rounded, like approachable and down to earth, I guess.
Yeah, I think that was a big thing for me that I noticed, and it was good because I could learn about what other cultures were doing, and see how other Aussies, because there are different types of Aussies. Like you got your Aussies from the country, and then you got the ones who live in the city. So it's good to make that, make those friends and quickly learn about people that lived here. But then, so you get to Nudgee. You obviously knew that you've been there to watch your brother play a few games. Let's go back a bit, just on the footy side of things, because you said you played at Sunnybank Dragons. Would you say that's where like your love for footy came, or did it come sort of when you got to Nudgee?
Nah, I reckon like I loved playing footy when I was a kid. Yeah, like when I was at Sunnybank. I was like the fellow who, like, my gear is already on the night before, ready to go. Socks all the way up, going into bed.
Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping in the kit?
Sleeping in the kit. Before.
Oh shit!
Just wake up in the morning. I'm ready to go. I loved footy when I was like a little kid growing up. And had heaps of fun at our playing at Sunnybank. Which was cool because like my experience of playing footy like growing up, never really we never lost a game.
Oh shit!
When I started in under sixes.
Yeah.
Like my team at Sunnybank, from under 6 through to under 14s, because I stopped playing for them in under 14s. we never lost a game. And then I got to Nudgee, and we never lost a game. It was like 13 A's, like undefeated, 14 A's, undefeated, 15 A's, undefeated. And I was like, so, yeah, like I loved playing it, and like I loved playing it, and never ever lost a game. It's like, man, this is so good.
Made it so much more sweeter, like just winning games and yeah. And from that Sunnybank Dragons team, like, were there any sort of notable names now that you played with?
Yeah, Jake Strawn.
Oh yeah.
So Jake Strawn, he played 10 and I played 12. Like
12?
Since we were like 6 years old.
Gee.
Yeah, and then I slowly made my way to the front. Yeah.
Shit, I didn't even know that. That's number 12, eh? Shit, shot ball.
Yeah. Luke McAllister. No.
Yeah, so Jake Strawn.
Jake Strawn's pretty much from our Sunnybank team who sort of kicked on to like that, like is still playing now.
Yeah.
A few of the guys sort of like went to. I was the only one from our Sunnybank team that went to Nudgee. Yeah. We had a couple of boys that went to Brisbane State High. So like Jake Strawn went to Brisbane State High.
Yeah.
And there's a few of the other lads that also went to State High.
Yeah. Because it's for those of you that don't know, like Sunnybank's on the south side of Brisbane, the club, and Nudgee's on the north side, like far north.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a trek to get to it, but
yeah, you don't really hear of that sort of alliance.
Yeah. Nah.
There is no, like, that's not really normal for like someone to go from Sunnybank to then end up at Nudgee.
Nah.
It's only because of literally just because of my brother.
Your brother.
Because he was already there. So
yeah.
It was just like easy transition.
Yeah. And then you mentioned it there, but yeah, 13 A's. I was playing soccer
you were playing
at that
soccer,
time.
Yeah. You only started in year 9.
Year 9, yeah. 14 A's. Because, man, we would always play...
Who was that? Who was the coach in 14s?
14s was Pa.
Was it? Oh, nah, man. Just Pa only?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
No one else, like...
I'm pretty sure it was Pa, yeah.
Oh.
It's Pa and Ari.
Yeah, it would have been someone else as well, like to do forwards and backs. I can't remember who though.
Oh, Twisty.
Was
it?
No,
Twisty was with Gledhill.
Yeah. It would have been someone, I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I think it was someone, but yeah, it was Pa, I remember. Because he told me I was going to play 14 A's when I was in the Bs, I think game 1 or something. Yeah, but so 14 A's, I was playing soccer. Then I just remember we would always play that game on Wilkes where you put the shoes.
Yeah.
Fuck, what's that game?
Shoes, it's called shoes. Yeah. One pair of your shoes goes into one side and the other pair of your shoe goes into the other bunch.
Yeah. And there was 2 bunches on either side of the field.
Yeah.
And so you split up in 2 teams.
Yeah.
We'd always pick pick 2 captains and then they picked whoever they wanted. Yeah. So then we split up in 2 teams and it was like full tackle.
Yeah, it's like full tackle, capture the flag.
Yeah, full tackle, capture the flag.
And it's like, so there's a halfway line.
Yeah.
And then you've got one pile of shoes on this side and one pile of shoes on the other side. And then it was what? It's just like pretty much just free for all.
Yeah.
And if you cross the halfway into the other team's half,
they can tackle you.
If you get tackled, then you're in jail.
You're in jail.
Yeah.
And you could free people in jail if you ran
in and you got a touch on them. Yeah. So that shoes game, that's how James O'Connor nearly died in school.
Really?
Yeah.
From that game?
From that game.
Far out.
He got smoked. He got smoked on Wilkes.
It's either make or
Mitch
break.
Copeman.
Oh,
Mitch Copeman's older brother.
Oh, wow.
Mitch Copeman's older brother smoked him. He was telling Rabs was telling me the story. He's like, yeah, he got smoked, and then he went back into the dorms, and he's like, like feeling like not feeling well.
Yeah.
And then he went to the
health center.
Yeah, the health center. He went to the health center, and he's like telling the sisters, like, sister, like I'm not feeling well, like I'm really. And then they were like, I think they just gave him like Panadol or something.
No.
And they're like, hey, you'll be alright, go back to the dorm.
Yeah.
And then he went back, and he's like, nah, he's like still not feeling right. And then he went back, and then they were like, okay, and then they took him to hospital, and he split his spleen. Oh. Yeah, he split his spleen in that from getting smoked in that game on Wilkes, and he almost like luckily he went to the hospital so that they could fix him up. Otherwise, he would have died.
Far out.
So he's got this big scar. He's got this big scar on his chest
from shoes on
Wilkes.
Wilkes.
From shoes on Wilkes. And I was like, bro, that game, that's where you get bred tough.
Bro, that was make or break game. Because I remember, just only because of that game, I was like, all right, I want to play footy next year. Because I was like, you'd tackle people and you feel like getting tackled, and then all the boys are like in my ear, like, oh yeah, just come, like come try it out. And then I remember 14 A-B trial we had, and since then was just like, fuck.
Even the touch games. I enjoy
this. Yeah, touch games.
Even like our touch games that we'd play like as borders, like just like in an afternoon. Yeah. On Wilkes.
So good,
bro. It'd be so good.
That was like one thing I was looking forward to after school.
The
bro.
touch was so good.
Straight to the field. Oh man, yeah, that was good times. And then, obviously you said with 13 A's, 14 A's, 15 A's, like we went on a run. I think we just had like good blokes in the team. Like you
had freaks. You
talk about like from 13s, you guys like Joe Hagan.
Yeah.
Just
give him the ball.
Give him the ball. Give him the... Like, he's probably... I'd say he's like the only one who had, like, 3... Like, his back page career mail. Just him.
Yeah.
And, like, a full sort of flip-out thing there with 3 clubs after him. 3 or 4 clubs after him. Fuck.
Yeah.
No one... I haven't seen any other kid have that.
No one has had that since. Oh. Yeah. No one's had that sort of interest.
Yeah. Maybe like a Joseph Suwali, but fuck, he was the man back then.
Yeah, he was the man. And he knew it too.
Oh, man, he knew it. Like 100-meter champion as well, like 200.
Yeah, bro.
Fucking.
The guy just fucking... He would just wake up, put his shoes on and win the race.
Oh, Jolie.
Nah, actually, that guy was proper professional. Like he trained freaking hard back then.
Yeah, he did.
I remember thinking like, what the hell?
Yeah, I would always see him on.
Yeah, he'd be like
Hendry.
on Hendry. Yeah. He'd like have athletics training.
Spikes.
Like his sessions would look hectic.
Yeah.
Just running like 200s, 400s, like all his conditioning and stuff. And I was like, dude, we're freaking like 13 years old. What's going on?
Yeah, bro.
And I was like, oh, no wonder. Look at this guy. That's why he's in the bloody... He had the Brisbane Lions, Titans, and the Broncos after him. I was like,
so good. Yeah, so he was one of them 13s. And then, 14s, 15s, get everyone else like your... McLean Jones and Bobby Tuttle and Campbell Magnay and some of the boys that from our year went on to play Aussie Schoolboys.
Yeah.
And then you sort of, from my perspective, that's when you sort of realize like, things now are getting serious.
Yeah.
For footy, but also like life as well.
Yeah.
For others that probably didn't progress on.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that, because I mean, how was that experience for you? Like, getting named in the Aussie Schoolboys. Because did you get named in year 11?
No.
Just 12.
But I did just under year 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. I was like always obviously the goal. Once I got to sort of playing in that age group, like playing representative stuff at that age group, playing for Queensland and stuff. The goal was to try and make the Australian Schoolboys. And then, I guess heard my name get read out. Had a pretty good campaign in the States Carnival in that year. And had my name read out, and I was so stoked. Stoked to get to make the team. And then we had we had such a good experience. So I think it's every 5 years they do the Australian Schoolboys will do a UK tour.
That's right.
And on the year that we were Australian Schoolboys, it was like that 5th year it fell on. So we were lucky we got to go and do the UK tour. Yeah. At the end of the year, so like instead of we had no schoolies. Yeah, that's right. So we missed out on doing schoolies and stuff because we had to go on this UK tour. Yeah, but it was pretty cool. We played against before that. I think in like what school holidays would that have been? I think the holidays after term 3. Yeah, the holidays after term 3, we played Fiji schools and NZ schools down in Sydney. Yeah. And NZ schools, they were stacked. They had. We came so close to beating them. Yeah. We were winning, and then they scored a try in the last. They scored a try in the last minute in the corner. It was Dylan. Dylan Wihongi. Really? Yeah. He came off the bench. Yeah. He came off the bench at 8, and the starting 8 was Akira Ioane. Oh, and so not a bad team, eh? He came off the bench and he scored the try in the corner to draw it up. So it was draw. And then they had the kick. And then Damien McKenzie kicked it from the sideline to win the game.
Far out. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And did they have any other big names like back then in that team?
Damien McKenzie and Akira Ioane, they were like the two guns. Yeah. I'm sure that there would have been other big names, but they're the only two that I called because I was like, man, when we were playing, I was like, bro, these guys are gun.
They're good. Yeah. Yeah. They're moving nicely.
Yeah. Dylan. Because remember at the start of that year, and we went to Japan.
That's right.
And we got smacked by bloody St. Kitts. They smacked us. And Dylan was in that team. Yeah, and so I remember like when I saw when we were in the tunnel, like, and we're both lined up next to each other, about to go out onto the field. And I looked and I saw Dylan because I remembered his face from from when we played in Japan. Yeah. And I was like, mate, I was like, shit. These guys, these are the guys who like manhandled us. But then like in our Aussie schoolboy side, we had big dudes as well. Yeah. So I was like, feeling all good. I was like, all good.
We're equal now.
Yeah, I was like, now I got some big dudes on my team as well.
Bro, they were huge. That just reminded me that their center, TJ Faiani.
Yeah, TJ Faiani, he was a gun. He's still playing somewhere. I think he's in Japan somewhere.
He was like, bro, when we played that Japan game,
bro, they had heaps of good.
They were undefeated for like 2 years when we played.
Vuli
was ridiculous.
Sully was like ridiculous. He was the same size as he is now.
He was, bro. His thigh,
as he was then. I just remember when he just picked up Pilsy and it's just threw him he'd throw the rubbish out of the he's just like bang out over the sideline.
Bro, you know what scared me the most is like they made a break and he was like Sully on the short side. Yeah. And the halfback went to go play.
That's Sam Knock.
Yeah. Oh yes.
He's playing for the Blues. Yeah.
Yeah. So he went to play in and saw that the defense rushed up, so he came back short side, and it was Rodders on the side there. Oh, yeah? And Sully just went, let's go Rodders. And in my head, I'm like, Rodders got him. Yeah. And then Sully just goes, boom, and Rodders flies that way. I'm like, fuck you, Rodders. And I'm coming across, I'm like, I don't want to tackle this guy. I just close my eyes. Next thing I know, go to chop. I fucking get flown to, and he scores the try. Oh man.
Yeah, no, they were on another level.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was fun.
They even had Johnny Farley was in that team as well. He used to play at the Chiefs.
Shit.
Like had the dreadlocks playing at 12.
Yeah.
He was wearing a headgear that day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had heaps of good players. Blake Gibson, he's like a 7.
He's at the Blues.
Used to be at the Blues.
Yeah.
I think he used to be at the Blues.
All right, so heaps of them made it. Like,
yeah, and that team was stacked, man.
they were scary.
Yeah.
When they were doing the haka, I was fucking shooting bricks.
Yeah.
But probably, yeah, not fucking shitting bricks more than I was when we played Christchurch Boys High School in
really?
New Zealand. I reckon that was more scary because I was like, fuck, in New
Fresh,
Zealand
like,
as well.
Yeah.
And I'm 16.
We were year 11.
And they were like 18.
Yeah.
I just remember their big number 8.
Yeah, he was a big bopper.
Massive, bro. He caught the ball on the kickoff, and I was like, good luck to all of you in the front line. Oh, man. But, yeah, anyways, we're going off on a tangent there, but I thought let's move on from Aussie schools and probably talk about, the day that you signed with the Reds.
Yeah.
Because that would have been 2016? 15?
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, man, what was that like? Because, like, obviously, back then, that's, like, Super Rugby.
Yeah, that was massive.
In its prime.
Yeah. That was huge. So, like, because I stayed back at school. So, I stayed back at school for that second year of year 12. Mm-hmm. I split the subjects over the 2 years. And then, so 2014 finished, and then came out of school, went down to Bonn 2015, and then I played for Queensland Country, did the NRC stuff.
Yep.
Did the NRC stuff for Queensland Country, and then straight after that, it was like, had got an offer from the Reds to join them. So I signed that, and then I joined the Reds in 2015 November.
Yeah, wow.
But that was huge. I signed a 3-year gig with the Reds, and I was stoked. Like I was just like, man, like this is literally like what I've been. This is what I've been like trying to make happen. Like and it happened the first year out of school, and I was like so happy. I remember just like calling my parents and telling them like, hey, look, my manager's told me I've got a 3-year deal. Like, what do I do? They're like, take it. I was like, yep, I already did.
Already signed.
Yeah, I was so happy. I just remember being so happy. And then, finally, like, just had to sort of always be up here in Brizzy. But so, like, the first sort of year of my contract, I was like, because I was still very young, sort of more so sort of involved with the Reds, like, under-20s, like the Reds Academy under-20s and stuff.
Yep.
And then the second year of that, so like that 2016 year was like the first year of the contract. Sort of more so involved with the Reds 20s and stuff like that. And then the next year made my debut, and I was so happy to sort of start playing footy for the Reds and playing Super Rugby. Like I just remember I made my debut against the Brumbies. I was like so nervous.
Yeah.
So nervous. And I just remember thinking, like, I can't believe like I'm on the field with these people.
Yeah, wow.
Because like when I was on the bench, Stephen Moore was the starting hooker at the Reds.
Who was Wallaby hooker at that time.
Who's the guy you would just like watch like
100 caps
every Saturday, like in the dorms, like watching the Wallabies. It's like Stephen Moore. And then now it's like, oh, Stephen Moore, you're going off, I'm going on. And I was like, what the hell?
Shit.
Go on, not straight. I was like,
oh shit.
Yeah, I just remember thinking, I was always starstruck. My first year of rugby, I was so starstruck.
Yeah.
With like playing, just like playing with playing with Quade, playing with Carmichael, playing with James Slipper, playing with Rob Simmons, playing with all these dudes.
Big
and then
names.
like Higgies. We haven't even had George Smith in our team.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I was like, I just couldn't believe like what was happening.
Yeah.
Like and then like even dudes from the other team. So I even like would catch myself on the field like watching the game.
Yeah,
I'll be
because you're like,
I'm like, oh yeah,
I'm playing.
yeah. I'm like, hey, I'm playing. Stop watching that guy. Go clean him out.
Oh shit.
So I was like probably known when I started. Stalesy was the head coach. Nick Stiles was the head coach at the Reds.
Yeah.
I remember him like saying in an interview after my second game. So in my second, so I started I came off the bench against, in my debut I came off the bench against the Brumbies, played like 7 minutes.
Yep.
And then the next week, Nick Stiles was like, "You're starting," and we're playing here at Suncorp against the Southern Kings.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What the hell?" Yeah. So that was my first start. Was like my second ever game for the Reds.
Yeah.
And they just played one half. They're like, "Yeah, you'll take the first half, and Andrew Reddy will take the second half." But I just remember like after I played pretty well that game, and then Stalesy after the game in the post-match conference, he was like saying like, I don't think I've ever come across a dude who's like as nervous as I was. And I was like, oh, it's so true. Like, bro, every single any line out, warm up or anything, so nervous. Like, bro, every throw over, not straight. I'm just like so scared, like just crippled by like being so nervous.
Yeah.
And then like sort of like, luckily like I was able to sort of bunch a few games together and then sort of get into the rhythm of things and
get experience.
Yeah, get experience and not be as nervous.
Yeah. Man, I think that was a big thing for me. Like, I always tell people now that I never used to remember games. Whenever I played at Nudgee and stuff, like, bro, you ask me a moment in the game when, like, I always find it weird how they ask people, like, oh, at this mark you kick the ball.
Yeah.
If you ask me that, I'd say I can't remember. As soon as I run onto the field, it's like a switch, and then when I come off, it's like back to normal now. Yeah. And for some reason, I think it was just the nerves that I was just so like nervous and hyped up that I couldn't even remember what I was doing. It was just everything that happened in the training, like during the week, would just come out then. Yeah. So it was such a weird thing.
Yeah, that can happen. Like that's, I think some people call it, or like sports psychs call it, like being in flow, which kind of sounds like what you're talking about. It's like you just sort of get it as soon as you get onto the field and you just get into the flow of things just start happening. Yeah. It almost feels like autopilot. You're not even like, you don't really have to think too much about what you're doing. And then then it's like, it's all over and it's all done. And then you're like, okay. And then it's like, turn the switch off. You're like, sweet. Yeah. And maybe you don't sort of just recall of like particular moments because you're not really thinking about it. It's just happening. It's just,
that makes a lot of sense. Man. And how was the life like? Because obviously back then Super Rugby had South Africa as well. Yeah. So like, man, what was the travel like?
That was the best part. Yeah. I think that's like one of the highlights of my career. Yeah. So far, is like those South African tours. Those tours you get to go to South Africa. Yeah. I remember my first one. We went to Cape Town and I was like so happy. Yeah. Because it was the first time I ever got to fly business class. Ooh. Fuck. Yeah. It was like the first. So like the rule was like if there's flights over 6 hours, then it's going to be a business class flight. So I think we flew from here to Sydney, and then from Sydney to Chile. Yep. Sydney to Chile, and that was in business class. It was my first time. I was like, what the hell? This is so good. Yeah. Fuck, and then, and then getting over there and experiencing like being able to travel for free. Best way to travel, like, is through rugby. Get to take you around the world. But yeah, that's probably the best highlights of my career was those tours to South Africa. You make a lot of good, funny memories on those tours with the boys. Getting up to no good in South Africa, and like some years we'd go to Argentina to play the Pumas, and then some of those years as well we'd go to Tokyo to play the what are they called, the Sunwolves.
Sunwolves, that's right.
Yeah,
shit, I forgot about them.
Yeah, so back then it was really cool to do all those sort of trips. Yeah, but I used to just really look forward to them because like traveling in business class, I never ever got to do it before. Yeah,
it's such a good experience.
Yeah.
And so, like, speaking about travel, you, like, after you had your stint with the Reds, you had the opportunity to go play some footy in Japan as well.
Yeah.
What was that like?
That's still to this day. So like so far, that's probably my most enjoyable season because I only went for one season.
Yeah.
Most enjoyable season was the season I had when I went to Japan to play. So I went and joined a team called NTT Com, Shining Arcs. So over there, the teams you play for companies.
Yep.
So the company that I was playing for was called NTT Communications, NTT Com. They're kind of like a Telstra here. Like a equivalent over there.
Yeah.
We're doing like internet and phone and all that sort of stuff.
So you got free phone and internet?
Nah. Who got like no benefits from the company? But yeah, so I played for them, and that's probably like one of my favorite ever. Yeah, that is my favorite ever season I've had. Yeah. Just like getting to experience a completely different culture. I like loved living in Japan. People are so nice. Yeah. The food is really good. Like I hardly even played as well. I think I played 2 games for the company. I played 2 games for that club, like in the actual top league.
Yep.
Every other game I played would be like the guys who you don't get selected. Like so, like we'd select a 23. Yep. A 23 for the game, for the top league game on the weekend. Say we're playing Panasonic. And our 23 would play against Panasonic, like our top dudes would play. And then all the guys who are not playing, and then all the dudes who are not playing from Panasonic, we would play like a game as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's good.
But it wouldn't be counted as like anything. It's just like just to have a game.
Yeah.
So I played heaps of those. So they like our guys who would play on game day, like in the normal, we would call them members.
Yep.
So if you're like a game day member.
Yep.
And then everyone else is called non-member. So I was non-member like for heaps. Like I was non-member pretty much the whole time, bar 2 games. And yeah, I loved that season that I had there. Just got to learn heaps. I grew a lot, like learning from those Japanese boys and then the way that they approach the game and how they sort of prepare for games and.
That's cool.
How teams, like how the team operates and how they all sort of push all these guys who are non-members. Some of these dudes would be like non-member for like years, and they will like never really get a chance to be a game day member. Yeah. But man, they just like pour their heart and soul into the 23, like making sure his job is to prepare them. Jeez. Like, bro, and I was like, and there'd be like not just one guy, it'd be heaps of like all these non-member dudes, just like that mentality of just like team, like we need to make sure this team is good to go for the weekend. And then like, so I learned heaps around like when I was over there, and I was just like, I fell in love with how they sort of did everything. Yeah, it's probably my favorite so far.
What would you say was like the highlight over there? Was it the food or people? Or?
Yeah, probably the food. Either the food or yeah.
Because that's all everyone ever talks about. Like when they go to Japan,
the food's so good.
It's just on another level there.
Yeah. Fuck. Like the yakiniku, the Japanese barbecue. Bro, that's like my number one. I was punished that like 3 times a week.
Yakiniku. That sounds just mouth-watering.
Bro, and it's cheap too. Like,
yeah,
$30, all you can eat.
Oh, shit.
90 minutes, just go for your life.
That's so good.
Then like the convenience stores, like all the 7-Elevens and the Family Marts and the Lawsons that they have around.
Yeah.
Bro, all the snacks in there are so good.
Just on food.
Yeah. Fried chicken in there is next level. The tuna onigiris, like these tuna mayo, like onigiris are like this little, it's like a sushi package.
Yeah.
They're so good. Everything, bro. Everything though is really, really, really good.
Shit. Yeah, bro. So, yeah. So from then, after a season there, you come back.
I came back to the Reds.
Yep.
Did another 3 years at the Reds. Yeah, and then after that, then I came down to Melbourne.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And what was that move like for you? Because
yeah, it was good. Like I sort of I felt like I needed it. Being at the Reds for ages. And just sort of just needed a bit of a change. And yeah, like that experience down there was so good. Like I loved the city of Melbourne. Yeah. Melbourne's such a cool place. Good food as well. Good coffee, all that sort of stuff. And it was just nice. It was nice to sort of link up with some other dudes that have never sort of played with in a long time. So like when I went down there, I was able to play with Bobby again. Yeah. Like the last time I played with Bobby was like when Bobby was back here at the Reds. Yeah. So you go down there and play with Bobby, it was pretty cool. And then I play with like a few other dudes like Sam Talakai and stuff who didn't get the chance to play a lot of footy with. Well, we played together here at the Reds as well. So yeah, it was nice to sort of go down there, and yeah, have the opportunity to sort of keep playing, and experience something different.
Yeah, and what? Because obviously now the Melbourne Rebels like done. You know, what was it like for you guys? You know, being a player going through that process.
Yeah, it's definitely pressure. Like everyone felt the pressure of the situation. Like it was just like a lot of. It's like the scenario is like you get told that like, oh, the Rebels won't be here next year, and then so some dudes are like trying to think like, all right, but so actually the way that they sort of told us was like, oh, like the Rebels are gonna, like in the media they'd say like, oh, the Rebels not gonna be here, but then like in house we would be like, no, like we still got a chance, like we're fighting this, we're gonna put up a fight, and we'll still try and keep the club alive. Yeah. So everyone was like sort of also staying optimistic, but that sort of the monkey on the shoulder was like, yeah, there's a real chance that it also like the club might not be here, and so some guys, there's the playing group was everyone's in a different boat. We had guys who are still on contract for next year. We had guys coming off contract, and then we also had like guys who are sort of injured or season injuries, so they didn't have a chance to sort of try and play to put themselves out there to try and get a contract. Yeah. So it was a real high pressure environment. But the guys, the lads thrived. The lads thrived on it. Like we put out some pretty good performances this year.
Made the finals.
Yeah, made the finals. Yeah. I didn't even know that it was I didn't even know that the Rebels have never played in the finals series for like in the actual Super Rugby before ever. I didn't even know that was a fact. Yeah. And then so we played the finals. It was the first time for the club to be in the finals. exit out of the finals, and we had the Hurricanes in Wellington, which was tough.
Real tough at home and in Wellington.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you guys had a solid run to end the season. It was just like all of us looking at it from the outside were just like sad because, like, you know, I know you, I know like Bobby, Juicy, all of those guys who like pretty close with, and then to see like club like Melbourne go down, you're just like, ah, shit.
Yeah, it was sad in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, is what it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it does its job of improving Australian rugby, and hopefully the Australian quality, the quality of the footy put out here in Australia will be a lot better for it.
Yeah, well, that's the flip side to it now. Like, I mean,
now there's like
now you get all
there's like these dudes who are now
players
dispersing into some of those other Super Rugby clubs.
Yeah.
And the competition sort of goes up. There's a bit more competition in each club to sort of to be a part of the game day team. With some of these guys coming now into the fold in those clubs.
Yeah. And I reckon, there'll be a handful of them as well, like maybe sign overseas and stuff like that too. Yeah. And then some just play club footy as well.
Yeah.
And do that. So it's, the flip side to it is that, you know, Australian rugby gets a few more players in the other super teams. But yeah, real sad.
And then the other side is like, if some dudes don't end up heading overseas and they stay and they don't end up playing in a Super Rugby team in another franchise in Australia, then club rugby like profits from that.
Oh, yeah.
Like now club rugby's got better like cattle of players that are playing, and the competition there becomes even better. Yeah. So I think like hopefully it does its job, and the quality of each
club
comp and like the quality of competition in the Super Rugby teams goes up, the quality of the competition in club comps go up. Yeah. With like influx of some of these players who get dispersed out.
Yeah. And to finish off, bro, what's next for you? Obviously, with everything that's happened, what's where are you off to next?
I'm heading overseas. I'm heading overseas. I'm going back to Japan, back to the land of the rising sun. Yeah. I'll be at Suntory.
Yeah, lovely.
I'll go to Suntory. I'll be there for the next 2 years.
Nice.
So, I'm looking forward to that. That should be pretty good.
Yeah, we'll definitely be watching from afar here at the Uncles. But before we go, I just wanted to ask you one question to leave everyone with. Is who is probably the best player that you've ever played with? So like on the field, who would you say is your number one guy? Because for me, my best player, when I think about the person that I would have my best player as, the person that I played with, was someone who like, whenever they got the ball, it was like just magic happened. Yeah. And you were like, fuck. Yeah. On the field. So like, who's that person for you?
Nella.
Yeah. Wow.
Right, easily. Some of those years when we were playing here at the Reds. Yeah. It's just like, right, just give him the ball. Like, and he'd do it all. He'd be able to run through dudes, just bump, fend, and then like offload. Sometimes he'd like pretend like he's like running off of like a 5-man line out, heavy in the middle, pretend like he's about to like truck it up and then just like throw like a little offload. Like man, he had a lot of tricks. He had a lot of tricks in the bag. Yeah, him. Yeah. And then like around scrum as well. Like bro, it's just like when you're with him in the scrum, so it's like you just like ask him, "We go forward on this one?" He goes, "Okay." Like, he's just like, "Okay, sweet, bang!" like it just goes. And then you'd be like, "You want to go again?" And I was like, "Up to you." Yeah, it'd be funny as like we used to, like me and him, we'd have like this funny as like, so in Tongan it's like if you say like say bear, like oh like say bear, it's like oh like it's all good. Yeah. And then if like so like we'd say like some, it can also be used as like oh say bear, so it's like just like oh like, it's all good, like chill. So then like some scrums would be like, wait, we say beer or we gonna go? He goes, no, we say beer. Say beer. It's just like, no, we just chill. We chill. Yeah. Ooh, and then so then we're like, all right, sweet. We just this one just like hit and we just save it, conserve energy, just get the ball in, get the ball out. Yeah. And then we'd have like Harry Hoopert like on our left. Yeah. And then Harry Hoopert would be asking me, he's like, oh, where are we going? And then they'll be like, tell him we're going, but we're Siberia. So Hubert would be like trying, he'd be like going his hardest, and we're just sitting there, just like chilling.
Oh man!
No, but yeah, that guy, freak, bro. Yeah. He's like, even you see on the weekend against Wales, like, bro, it's just like, he just the scrum. If he wants it to go, he can make it go.
Yeah, man. He's scary. I remember when I was playing at West, and he just came across, and he was playing at Brothers. Yeah. And we played quarter-final or semi-final at Ballymore. Yeah. And same thing. It was a line out. They took it down, and Nella held the wing. And I got caught on the wing. Yeah. Bro, they went short side and Nella just ran straight at me, and I was just like, just close the eyes and go down. Next thing, his big knee, bro, just hit me in the chest. I was just like, man, he's unstoppable. Yeah.
He needs to lose some kilos to get back to that. False looking big, man.
Big boy. But thank you, brother. Thanks for hopping on. This will be episode 64. 64.
6 + 4.
Thanks, bro.
All right.